Okay, let's get into AI though. So tell me about the King Gizzard update.
So I didn't I didn't get too deep into it. It was just something I saw in the brief moments at work today while I was thumbing my phone. But yeah, they we talked about this before, how they removed their catalog from Spotify for their reasons, which we found odd. But uh, Spotify decided that how they would deal with this loss is to replicate King Gizzard's entire catalog with AI replicas, literally going as far as having the songs have the same fucking names.
Mm-hmm.
And they changed it to like King Lizard. And that is fucking insane.
That's funny. I wonder. It's probably not actually Spotify. It's probably just some dude using like the Suno app to replicate him. Because I wanted to talk about similar things anyway. That you're probably not aware of like the vast amount of AI replicas on YouTube and probably everywhere. Because I work at a retirement home, so like every TV just has like Frank Sinatra mix, like all these like old things, and it's all AI replicas. Now, if you type in YouTube like 50s oldies songs, every like the first page will be all these mixes of AI replicas. Because I started listening to it, and I'd be like, why is Frank Sinatra auto-tuned? Like, because they get very close to the songs, like similar arrangements, but you could just hear it. The voice is like it's auto-tuned, like it's. And then I've realized like like these old people, they're listening to AI music all day. It has got like AI backgrounds going through like, oh, a nice little cottage listening to auto-tune Frank Sinatra. But it's vast. Like I don't know what the copyright laws are that it might be illegal to just like recreate, because like you can cover any song that you want. King Gizzard's probably making money off of that because it's probably technically like a cover, but it's like everything. Like AI music is growing way more than I realized, and I would have never even known it, except for working this job, because I don't listen to stuff like that.
It's just like I don't know that the problem has become so much that like AI making this stuff is the problem. I almost start to wonder if the real problem is that like, and I've been thinking about this a little bit lately, is that like we're so used to listening to like the same thing that it doesn't stand out. And
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly overall music, like just in general, that's kind of like a depressing idea that I've realized over the last like 15, 20 years is like there's not exciting music coming out. There's not like
Yeah.
groundbreaking music. There's not music to get people like jumping off the couch and go out and like buy tickets and stuff. It's all the fucking same.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a divide, because it's so funny because for the past, 30, 40, 50 years, the music industry's all about like getting new gear and making everything perfect. We came up with auto tune and then beat detective, where before AI, it's like every song sounded pretty perfect and it was pretty robotic. And now that's like I think it's going to change. We're going to go back to making things sloppy and organic because AI is just going to pump out so much. People are going to get tired of that auto tune sound. But I say that because I also saw like researching this that they've been testing it, and they found that I think it was 90%. Let me check that number, but 90% of people they tested couldn't tell. It was 97% of people couldn't tell if music was AI or not. And working at that retirement home, those old people, they don't even know what AI is. They're just watching. It's like, oh, good old Frank.
Yeah.
Good old Frank Sinatra crooning again. It's like, no.
I do wonder about like how long, like how much did they get to listen to, right? Because that's the thing is like if you listen to those AI songs, because I've heard a couple of them, especially like kind of the jokey ones, and it's like you could buy it for a length of time, but at any like there's like a certain point where it's just like you start to realize that things just aren't right. It's like looking at an AI picture where you're like, wait a second,
Yeah,
why is his arm 15 feet long? Like you
it's
just
gotten
start
a
to
lot
pick
better
up on these
though.
things.
It's gotten so much better where you're not going to hear weird artifacts like that. You'll notice it, and you'll really only be able to notice it with certain music. So like you can really hear it with like jazz and Frank Sinatra, because Frank Sinatra wasn't auto-tuned and he's bending into notes and doing vibrato. So when like AI is trying to replicate that, it sounds like a Frank Sinatra synthesizer. But if you're just replicating new modern music that was made to a click track and it's already auto-tuned, like it's I don't know. We're gonna hit
pop music.
Yeah,
pop music. And that's the thing is like, the 97%, the like, AI music taking over, the divide you're talking about. There is a sect of people who are going to be fine with it, but they're the people that just mindlessly consume anything that's put in front of them anyways. I think for like the sect of people that like actually listen to music with a discerning ear and like have an attachment to music and especially like people grow an attachment to bands because of their music. They're still not that's not going to come anywhere near satisfying them.
No, but I think the depressing part is that the people that are okay just like shoveling AI slop, I think it's the majority. I think it's healthily over 50%.
I don't know if it's a majority. It's a large amount.
So here's, I don't know if you look at Billboard. So I was looking into this more. That AI artists are already cracking Billboard charts. Like, I think it's every single week for the past few months. There's been at least one AI artist on Billboard charts, and it's like certain ones like things like country and R&B. That's like really eating it up. There's been like country songs #1 multiple times now that were AI artists.
Yeah, but man, people who actually are listening to music aren't listening to new music. So like Billboard, like that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
them,
but it is the majority of people. I think there's like a certain level of music connoisseur where they're going to be digging in. Because there's already so much music. You're never going to run out of music. You're just going to be digging through old stuff. And like finding new bands, but I think there's a lot of people that will just take the slop.
Yeah, I mean, how many Marvel movies do we have?
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I think it is going to open up certain opportunities, though, just because now that it's so easy to just make, perfectly packaged auto-tuned songs, that people will hopefully shy away from that because that's what's dominated the music industry.
Dude, is this going to be the musician's way to take touring back? Because touring is absolutely fucked, but AI bands can't tour.
Yeah, touring and even just like live videos and stuff, live recordings.
Because if the venue's got nobody to play, like that affects them, and so now their relationship with like Ticketmaster is fucking strained because of the stress that Ticketmaster puts on the people who would actually come and fucking play. And so maybe we get an alternative, or maybe we just go straight back to backdoor. Like, you got to fucking call everybody and set up your shows and stuff, but you don't have to deal with fucking Ticketmaster.
Yeah, I think it'll help like local music. All the big national acts and stuff like that, they're going to slowly get cut down because I think the labels are just going to focus on AI stuff. Yeah, it's going to be weird. I think it'll be good for independent musicians. People that are doing like really creative stuff, whether you're an artist or a musician, there's always a niche for you because AI isn't going to make anything new, It's just going to be regurgitating stuff.